is your Bad Boy Tractor dealer in Sequim.
Bad Boy Tractors, work with an attitude.
Since 1955, our community has enjoyed Pepsi products right from our local bottler, Peninsula Bottling. And for decades, this product has been a part of each generation in some way. From memorable jingles to hilarious commercials and big celebrity endorsements, Pepsi was and is still part of your generation.
Pepsi belongs to your generation. Why else would Pepsi try so hard to be where you are? Everywhere.
Thanks, Peninsula Bottling, for being a part of our generation.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Fewer U.S. homeowners were equity rich last quarter. The real estate firm Adams says about 46% of homes with a mortgage had over 50% equity versus 47.4% in the third quarter. The West and South took the biggest hit. Big gains on Wall Street as investors await earnings from Apple, Amazon, and Meta platforms after the bell. Dow Industrial's up 318. The S&P is up 54. The Nasdaq up 192. Amer Sports, maker of Wilson tennis rackets, Louisville Slugger baseball bats, and other sporting goods, is higher in its first day as a public company. The company sold shares last night at 13. It's trading at about 13.30 this afternoon. Business was picking up at U.S. factories in January. A monthly manufacturing reading from the nation's purchasing managers climbed to a 15-month high, though it remains at a level that points to slow decline. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get a check of the roads this noon hour next, brought to you by McCrory Carpet One and by Olympic Medical Center.
At McCrory Carpet One, they sell more than just carpet. If you walk on it, they carry it. Hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, stone, and more. Plus, experience their award-winning installation service on everything they sell. Because McCrory's sells more flooring than anyone else on the peninsula, and Carpet One stores sell more flooring nationally than anyone, they can say always priced right and always done right. McCrory Carpet One, serving the community since 1958.
Exciting news to keep you on your feet. 2 new podiatrists have discovered Olympic Medical Center and have joined our team. Ready to elevate your access to foot health care, Dr. Olga Dromiertsky and Dr. Jared Davis have joined the team alongside Dr. Adam Kilpack. Whether it's pain, sports injuries, diabetes, or general foot wellness, the OMC Podiatry team has you covered. Discover your next steps towards foot health at olympicmedical.org/podiatry.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
Back up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go now. That's where Steve's standing by with an eye on the roads for us this noon hour on a Thursday. Good afternoon now, Steve.
Hey there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we're doing pretty good out there. If you are out and about, both Port Angeles and Sequim area, fairly busy out there right now. Or pretty steady traffic making its way through town, pretty much at the speed limit all the way, but you're going to find some slowdowns, especially coming in on First Street or Front Street. A little bit busy along those sections, so just be aware of that. If you're headed on 101 between Port Angeles and Sequim, it is busy out there, but traffic is moving along at the speed limit. Beyond that, beyond Sequim, the Hood Canal Bridge is good to go with no scheduled marine openings, and currently the Washington State ferries are running on time today. West End traffic, 101, should be a real nice drive for you out there. Just light traffic, light to moderate. Roads are in good shape, and things are moving along right at the speed limit out that way. So everybody take care. Enjoy your afternoon. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thanks, Steve. Currently, it is a little bit of sun peeking through out there across the North Peninsula. 53 in Port Townsend. It's 54 out west at Forks. 56 now in Sequim. 50 in downtown PA. And out at the airport, last check, it's 54 degrees at Fairchild.
ABC Entertainment News.
From Hollis, Queens to World Story of pioneering rap group Run DMC is getting the docuseries treatment starting today. Kings from Queens, the Run DMC story, talks to the 2 surviving members of the group, as well as LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Eminem, and more. Reverend Run telling us when they were starting out, he had no idea he'd be sitting here today talking about his legacy.
I didn't know I was going to have a documentary. I didn't know I was going to play Madison Square Garden. I didn't know I was going to play Yankee Stadium, but I knew, oh man, when they hear this, it's going to blow their mind.
Kings from Queens, the Run DMC story is out today on Peacock. Also out today,
we can change the course of history.
A new look at Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X in the Nat Geo series Genius, MLKX. 2 episodes air tonight on Nat Geo, and it's streaming tomorrow on Hulu and Disney+. Billy Joel's first new pop single in 17 years is out today. It's called Turn the Lights Back On. And pop superstar Harry Styles is 30 today. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
If you're looking to lose weight, but the idea of counting calories is a deterrent, I want to tell you about a new study that found time-restricted eating could be just as effective. Researchers at the University of Illinois Chicago found that just by limiting the eating window to 8 hours per day, people naturally cut out about 300 calories, even though they were allowed to eat whatever they wanted. All of the participants in the study had type 2 diabetes, and beyond losing weight, they were also able to reduce their A1C, a test that averages blood sugar levels over the previous 3 months. They are also able to lose visceral belly fat, which can contribute to diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Now, if you want to give this a try, experts we talked to did recommend starting with a 10 or 12-hour window and then gradually, slowly dialing it back to 8 hours over a couple of weeks. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart, and this is One Moment in America. With all the new inventions today in science and industry, is there any old thing still worth having? I'll tell you that story after this important message. If you've been hearing my radio programs now for the last 20 years, you know that I've been telling the true stories of those who have followed God's ways to make America the greatest nation in the world. So what's the latest? Well, we're now doing this nation-saving work full-time, and we need your help by becoming one of our ambassadors, subscribing to All We Have for just $5.95 per month. To get what? Number one, full access to our amazing website that is full of over 100 true stories to teach us with these stories how America is to act and operate. We also have lessons for all ages to teach us what we must do now. And our children, they will be our nation's leaders very soon. I will have live presentations online for you to hear, maybe even to participate. And when must this all get started? Now. Call our offices today at 817-995-6965 or go to our website at www.jerrystewartusa.com and email our office. God bless you. As the old continues to be swallowed up by the new, some would argue that the old ways and thoughts and sayings should be put away forever. But so much of the old is still very true and necessary. Listen to what Poor Richard's Almanac was saying well over 200 years ago. Well done is better than well said. People who are wrapped up in themselves make very small packages. How about this one? If a man could have just half his wishes, he would double his troubles. And this one? Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. No, the truth is this. The further we travel from the old ideals, the bigger our nation's troubles grow. I'm Jerry Stewart, and that was One Moment in America.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Rob Francis. As a bill in the House looks to move forward, which would increase property taxes for more revenue for cities and counties, a Republican House member says there's a better way without raising taxes. Yakima Representative Chris Corey opposes giving cities and counties the ability to raise property taxes by up to 3% a year for revenue. House Bill 2436 would reduce the sales tax by 0.5% and let local governments raise revenues through a voter-approved 0.5% increase.
If some of our local counties and
cities are struggling. We need to give them the options to actually fund a lot of the mandates we've put on them over the years. I think this is a much better way to do it.
The legislation has been referred to the local government committee, and ballots will be arriving for Washington State's February special election. 36 counties have at least one jurisdiction with an issue on the ballot. Measures include school bonds and levies, hospital districts, and fire districts. If you're not returning your ballot by mail, you need to return it to a county drop box or voting center by 8 p.m. February 13th. And Evergreen College expected to spend up to $1 million for costs related to the carbon monoxide death of a student. They'll cover the cost of the state investigation into Jonathan Rodriguez's death. They'll also cover repairs to student housing and moving students to temporary housing. Rodriguez was found dead in campus housing heated by propane. Since his death, all students have been moved out of propane-heated housing. For more on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app. You can also visit our website, WashingtonStateNews.net.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Unemployment claims have risen to their highest level in nearly 3 months, but are still at historically low levels.
The number of Americans filing for jobless benefits rose last week to 224,000. It's about 9,000 more than the previous week, but layoffs remain at historically low levels. The 4-week average of claims, which helps provide a smoother picture, finds an increase of 5,200 applicants. Recently, job cuts have been reported in the technology and media sectors. Overall, 1.9 million Americans are collecting unemployment benefits, up 20,000 from mid-January. Friday, the government issues its jobs report. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Also at townhall.com, Yemen's Houthi rebels firing a ballistic missile at a Liberian flag container ship in the Red Sea. The attack happened west of Hodeidah, a port city in Yemen long held by the rebels. The crew and vessel are safe. The blast came far off the vessel's starboard side. President Biden among the notables speaking today at the 72nd Annual National Prayer Breakfast on Capitol Hill. The president said the event has meant a lot to him even before he became president.
I've attended many prayer breakfasts over the years, and Jill and I have been humbled by the prayers of so many when we needed them badly. It means everything to us, and we're all blessed to live in a nation where we can practice our many faiths and practice them freely.
In addition to Mr. Biden, House Speaker Mike Johnson, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries recited passages from the Bible during the event. A number of economic reports suggest the economy remains solid and stocks are now higher. The Dow up 315 points, the Nasdaq adding 191. More at townhall.com.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy, it's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
A secret memo says U.S. operatives secretly went into Venezuela to build drug cases against the country's leadership.
The memo says the U.S. acknowledged that the years-long covert operation by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration was arguably a violation of international law. The 15-page 2018 memo reads, "It is necessary to conduct this operation unilaterally and without notifying Venezuelan officials. Operation Money Badger targeted dozens of people, including Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and one of his closest allies, Alex Saab, the businessman recently freed in a prisoner swap with the U.S. I'm Donna Warder.
New Zealand will consider sharing advanced military technologies with the U.S. and Britain as part of closer defense ties with Australia. The defense and foreign ministers of Australia and New Zealand are meeting in Melbourne. Breaking news at townhall.com. Donations have poured in to replace a decimated statue of Jackie Robinson.
The donations come on what would have been the 105th birthday of the first player to break Major League Baseball's color barrier. The total raised just through one online fundraiser surpassed $145,000, well in excess of the estimated $75,000 value of the bronze statue that was cut from its base at a park in Wichita, Kansas. Bob Lutz, the executive director of the Little League nonprofit that commissioned the sculpture, said the money raised can enhance some of its programming and facilities. Keith Peters reporting.
Testing is raising concern that the nation's roadside guardrails are no match for new heavy electric vehicles. They weigh as much as 50% more than a gas-powered vehicle. That's thanks to batteries that can weigh almost as much as a small gas-powered car. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
This is the Newsradio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Ortloff in the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Thursday, February 1st. Washington State ranks dead last in the country when it comes to the number of law enforcement officers per capita. According to the Crime in Washington reports issued for 2021 and 2022, there was a net loss of about 600 officers on top of that. That means the state is not only in last place, but also falling further behind. In the midst of an opioid epidemic, communities are asking more of officers and deputies than ever before, all while being understaffed and often overworked. 2 bills introduced in Olympia this month aim to give law enforcement agencies some more money earmarked for hiring additional officers. HB 2231 would authorize cities and counties to impose a tax credited against the state sales and use tax for the purpose of attracting and retaining law enforcement officers. Instead of raising taxes, it would divert funds from existing sales taxes from the state back to local governments. The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs support the bill, and that also includes Port Angeles Police Chief Brian Smith.
Well, it'd be absolutely game-changing. I mean, the estimate that was compiled by the state was between $500,000 and $600,000 just for Port Angeles. So that could fully outfit 4 or 5 officers, depending on how you did it. So this would provide us a lot of flexibility in problem solving and community policing and in the ability to get results in areas where we know that more resources would get us there.
The other bill, HB 2211, could be a tougher sell. It provides a county legislative authority until 2027 to impose a criminal justice sales tax without voter approval, and provides a city within a county that has not imposed the sales tax at the full rate to impose the remainder of the tax up to that full rate. This bill does require a local sales tax increase, according to Smith.
The really important thing is that we're not, I mean, it sounds like we're a broken record, but Washington being 51st in the U.S. in terms of officer per capita is reflected in what people see in the worlds that they live in. And the estimate is if we were $100 million to the good, we'd still be 51st. That's how far behind we are. And, you know, we don't complain when we get funding for other things, but there isn't enough for our core function, and we actually have to fund that. Officers won't stay in the profession. They won't accomplish all the things the legislature wants us to do in de-escalation, community policing, with the statewide staffing that we have. That's the simplest way to put it.
And we've included links that will let you read the 2 bills in their entirety, along with this story. It's on our website at myclallamcounty.com. The Washington State Department of Commerce has awarded the city of Sequim a $2 million Connecting Housing to Infrastructure Program, or CHIP grant, for the Habitat for Humanity of Clallam County Development Project in Sequim. Habitat plans to build a 50-unit affordable fourplex and duplex housing project on the corner of South Sequim Avenue and Brownfield Road. The grant, a joint application from the City of Sequim and Habitat for Humanity, has been designated to assist with the utility infrastructure cost for the project. The CHIP grant program was created in 2021. Its goal is to build more housing units more quickly by helping cover the upfront cost of infrastructure connections to things like water, sewer, and stormwater utilities. In other news, the effort to get the Dream Playground in Port Angeles rebuilt since a December fire destroyed the main structures could take a big step forward if the Playground Foundation can secure a grant from the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee in the city. Parks and Recreation Director Corey Delicott says they'll be attending the committee meeting this Friday and requesting $250,000 from the Lodging Tax Capital Fund,
which would put the foundation in a really good position to start ordering materials, securing some of the contractors that are going to be needed, and with the hopes that if we find out about insurance money that the city might be able to get reimbursed, that money would go back into the Lodging Tax Fund. And so Steve Metzner is going to do a presentation. There's a great fundraiser tonight at Field Hall, and so we're just keeping the ball rolling and doing it in a positive way.
Getting the funds would allow the foundation to start ordering materials and nailing down a contract for the next few weeks, which in turn would keep them on track to get construction going by their target date of the third week in May. This is News Radio KONP.
End-of-life decisions are hard. Be it pre-planning or sudden loss, you need to have an advocate in your corner, which is why I wholeheartedly recommend Drennan and Ford Funeral Home and Crematory in Port Angeles, the only locally owned funeral home and crematory in Clallam County. Their expertise ensures a smooth process so you can focus on healing and being with your loved ones. Their help through the darkest time in my life will forever stay with me. Call 360-457-1210.
Don't miss the Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo this weekend. The NPBA's 25th annual event will be at their new location, Sequim Middle School, and offers the best in home building. Learn about innovative building products and local services, all under one roof. Doors open at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Returning this year to the NPBA Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo is the Building Block Challenge. It's free for all kids ages 5 through 12 and offers great Lego prizes. Pre-register for the Building Block Challenge as space is limited. Go to npba.info. That's npba.info. The Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo is presented by Clallam County PUD and the North Peninsula Building Association. Come see the best in home building this weekend during the Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo at Sequim Middle School. Admission is free.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
Tracy Lawrence for the U.S. Air Force.
We all have tough choices we have to make. Life just works that way. I remember when I was getting ready to move to Nashville to pursue my dream, I packed my 10-year-old Toyota Corolla with 250,000 miles on it and hit the road. It was a tough choice, but the right one for me. If I decided to take what seemed like an easier road, I never would have achieved my dream. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Let's get you updated on the weather forecast as we head through the rest of this week into the weekend. What's it looking like? Well, more of the same, pretty much, is what we're going to be having as we head through the rest of today. Partly sunny, a chance of some rain later this afternoon. Highs will be in the low to mid 50s. Mostly cloudy, a chance of rain tonight, lows in the upper 30s to mid 40s. And cloudy and a little rainy for tomorrow with your highs in the mid-40s to low 50s again. Partly cloudy Friday night, then becoming more cloudy overnight and a slight chance of rain. Those will be in the mid-30s to lower 40s. Mostly cloudy and some rain on Saturday with highs in the 40s. Going to be cloudy Saturday night, lows in the mid to upper 30s. Partly sunny for Sunday with highs in the mid-40s. Sunday night, partly cloudy in the evening, becoming more cloudy Sunday night, and then lows will be in the low to mid-30s as we cool down just a little bit in the evenings. Partly sunny for Monday, highs in the mid to upper 40s. Monday night, partly cloudy, becoming more cloudy overnight, lows will be in the low to mid-30s. A mostly sunny sky for Tuesday with a slight chance of rain later in the day, mid to upper 40s for your highs. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows in the low to mid-30s, and partly sunny with, again, a slight chance of rain Wednesday next week with your highs in the mid-40s. Currently, we have partly cloudy skies across the North Peninsula. Temperature is 53 now in Port Townsend. Out west at Forks, it's 54. 56 in Sequim. It's 50 in downtown Port Angeles, and it's 54 degrees out at Fairchild Airport.
This is Church Watch, brought to you by LutherCannon.com. Let's get a little philosophical here as we move into Anno Domini 2024. That's the year of our Lord 2024 for those of you in Olympia and on down the left coast. Does truth contradict itself? Because at the very foundation of all the craziness that is going on in the U.S. and the world at large today is this very question. If one thing is true, can its opposite be true? Yes, there's also a more basic question. Does truth really matter anymore? But let's address this first question. Can truth contradict itself and still exist? Well, let's move this a little further down the alley and ask, can it be self-defined? Can it be privatized? Is it subjective or objective? Is truth based on personal prejudice, personal convictions, ideology, or opinion? Is something true because you really feel strongly about it? If a police officer pulls you over for driving 75 in a 55, is the outcome going to change? If you tell him you were personally convinced 75 was best for you, can you jump off a mountain because you believe you're going to float? Will God give you a pass? That is, if you believe in Him, because you followed your own convictions or His. Have we become our own gods today? Is truth consistent down through time, or does it change with society? Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, one of the architects of today's mess, back in the 1800s said law should evolve with the changing norms of society. Oh, really? Is it possible for 5 different churches to believe 5 opposing things from Scripture and yet maintain they all just believe the Bible? America, church, we better get this figured out real soon, because no election can save us from moral deterioration. And for Church Watch, this is Gordon Haddad.
Church Watch is a paid commercial announcement.
When shopping for building supplies, lumber, home goods, or hardware items, are you traveling to one of those big box stores? When you wander those big box store aisles, how's that customer service? Absent? Possibly lacking in knowledge?
I don't know.
At Angeles Millwork and Hartnaggles, we have 2 convenient Port Angeles locations, and each one is far from the big box store experience.
Yay!
Since our stores are employee-owned, each one of us has a vested interest in how we serve and treat our customers. You won't find us hiding in the back aisle or turning the other way when you make eye contact for help.
They can't see me if I can't see them.
We're excited to share our day with you while making sure we set the bar high for what true customer service is all about. So if you're looking for a hometown building supply store that treats their customers like next-door neighbors, has deep knowledge on building products while continually supporting the local community, then avoid those trips out of town and come see us today. Angeles Millwork and Hartnagel Building Supply. Building homes, building community since 1906.
Got an event? Make it special with live classic hits from Black Diamond Junction, the band voted best on the peninsula the past 7 years in a row.
We hired BDJ for our anniversary party. Their classic hits were so good,
and kept all generations of our guests dancing.
What a great band and the best entertainers. We had them for an event and won't hesitate to bring them back again. No question.
BDJ made our annual family and friends party the best ever. So professional and great to work with.
Get more info at blackdiamondjunction.com or Black Diamond Junction on Facebook and Instagram.
Day 1. Diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
LLS provided immediate financial support that helped me keep my business going through treatment.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Just minutes ago, ahead of Wall Street's closing bell, and stocks are on track for some pretty healthy gains today. We may even see a fresh record closing high for the Dow. That comes ahead of big tech earnings after the close from Apple, Amazon, and Meta Platforms. Right now, the blue chip Dow index up nearly 1%, the NASDAQ 1.33% higher, the S&P up more than 1%. Now, those gains make up for a lot of Wednesday's big losses after the head of the Federal Reserve hinted that there's little chance of a rate cut coming at the central bank's next meeting in March. The maker of Yankee Candle with some news today. It's laying off 190 workers at a distribution facility in Ohio. And Zoom is cutting about 150 jobs this week, the latest tech firm to slash costs by slashing jobs. And Netflix did it. Now Hulu plans to start cracking down on password sharing. Subscribers have until March 14th to comply with a new edict banning sharing outside a primary residence. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Last check of the traffic this noon hour is next. It's brought to you by Angela's Furniture and by Leeds Farm Supply.
Warm up to winter savings with Stressless by Eckernes at Angela's Furniture. You'll get 10% off Stressless Furniture or $400 off Stressless Power Recliners from now through March 4th. Come by and ask one of our knowledgeable staff about Stressless. Whether this is your first Stressless purchase or whether you're a returning, happy customer, you'll always have the same great service and experience at Angela's Furniture. Stop by today and let us help you find the perfect stressless piece. 1114 East 1st Street.
Bad Boy tractors are born from the legendary Bad Boy mowers. From 20 to 35 horsepower, subcompact to midsize, Bad Boy combines power, performance, comfort, and as always, build strength to deliver the workhorse dependability you need to get the job done and done right. Homeowner, landscaper, or rancher, there's a Bad Boy tractor for you to work with an attitude.
Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales is your Bad Boy tractor dealer in Sequim. Call 360-452-1400 to learn more.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
Right, up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go now. That is where Steve's standing by with another check of the roads for us this noon hour. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we're doing pretty good overall with the traffic. It's kind of busy out there. Port Angeles and Sequim both. A little bit of slowdowns at like intersections and things. But overall, we're moving along pretty well. But just be aware, a lot of traffic out there today. If you're on the highway between Port Angeles and Sequim, fairly busy out there as well. But traffic is moving along at the speed limit. Headed out beyond the Sequim area, Hood Canal Bridge, good to go with no scheduled marine openings. Also, state ferries are running on time today. If you're headed out to the west end, 101, we're in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. Currently, no construction that I'm aware of. Roads are in good shape. Should be a real nice drive for you out there. So everybody enjoy the sunshine while we have it. Take care. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
All right, thanks, Steve. We'll get another update on the drive home this afternoon. That'll be about 4:20 here on KONP. Well, if you're focusing on your eating habits this year, then be mindful of the clock striking 2:41 p.m. A survey of adults found that is the specific time of day when willpower is most tested and cravings strike hardest. A study also found that we spend 40 minutes per day thinking about food. The flavors we crave most often: sweet, 79%, salty, 54%, and spicy, 45%. Well, scientists have discovered more than 300 places in the genome that influence our sleeping habits. And the analysis revealed that there's an association between our waking and sleeping habits and our mental health. Part of the reason why some people are up with the sun while others are night owls is because of differences in both the way our brains react to external light signals and the normal functioning of our internal clocks. In other words, our internal clocks may run a little fast or run a little slow based on normal differences to a range of things in our genetic code. How about that? And golf season for most of the country may be a few months away, but it's never too early to start working on your mental game. Scientists say golfers who reflect on their strokes are likely to play badly. The performance of even the most skilled amateur is said to be undermined by talking about or mulling over their last putting stroke between holes. Bottom line, after a bad hole, just let it go. All right, good advice. Here are a couple of things maybe you didn't know yesterday. Did you know Australia is wider than the moon? That pineapples take about 2 years to grow? Niagara Falls never completely freezes, and each limestone granite block that makes up the Great Pyramid of Giza weighs about 2.5 tons, and there are over 2 million of them.
Over the years, the founder of Facebook, man-boy Mark Zuckerberg, has started some cringe-worthy events before Congress. Yesterday's was the most unbelievable yet. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by ExpressVPN. Anonymize and encrypt your online activity and get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. Mark Zuckerberg has outdone himself this time. After he was shown videos of people describing being sexually exploited on Facebook and Instagram, Senator Lindsey Graham told Zuckerberg he has blood on his hands. Zuckerberg stood and apologized to the families claiming social media contributed to their children's suicide or sexual abuse. He said, "I'm sorry for everything that you've gone through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered." Then, in the very same appearance, he stated that there is no link between social media and mental health. So what are you apologizing for, Mr. Zuckerberg? Hey, I'm giving away a brand new $1,000 PC or Mac right now. You can enter to win at commando.com/win. 37,000, 25, 1. 3 numbers to remember to get the visibility and control you need to make the right business decisions instantly. 37,000. That's how many businesses have upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system, streamlining accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, and more. And this year is NetSuite's 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less. And finally, the #1, because your business is one of a kind. NetSuite offers customized solutions for all your KPIs in one efficient system. That's one source of truth to manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance, absolutely free, at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get your very own KPI checklist. That's netsuite.com/Kim.
We know it can give us an energy boost, but can that morning coffee or tea also be a boost for your health? I'll tell you more after this.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
So many of us enjoy that morning cup of joe, and according to the FDA, caffeine can be a part of a healthy diet for some, but a danger if consumed too much. Excessive caffeine can lead to insomnia, jitters, and even nausea. The FDA says 400 milligrams, or 4 to 5 cups of coffee, is borderline too much for most healthy adults. So here's my take. The overwhelming evidence in the medical literature supports that caffeine has more benefits than risks. Studies have shown a decreased risk of cognitive decline, liver cancer, and certain other types of cancers with people who consume caffeine. But remember, just skip the whipped cream and the syrups. With Your Body, I'm ABC's Dr. Jennifer Ashton.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animals' stars on screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Brought to you by American Humane.
Rely on us for complete news coverage. We're Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After heated debate, Congress could be moving closer on an immigration deal. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more.
Senator Susan Collins, a top appropriator, saying she believes details of a long-awaited bipartisan immigration deal could finally be unveiled Friday night. Any agreement likely to face opposition in the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson has said what he's heard about the deal doesn't go far enough. Other Republicans, like Texas Rep. Dan Crenshaw, more open-minded.
I'm extremely disappointed in the very strange maneuvering by many on the right to torpedo a potential border reform bill.
Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
The U.S. is not saying when it will respond to the drone attack by Iranian-backed militants that killed 3 U.S. service members inside their quarters at a Jordanian base. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, though, says the U.S. is not at war with Iran.
The president will not tolerate attacks on American troops. And neither will I.
The president and U.S. walking a fine line to deter Iran's proxies, but not widen the conflict in the Middle East as the Israel-Hamas war rages on.
Fears rising again, the Gaza war will ignite a wider regional conflict, one that could begin in southern Lebanon. That as daily strikes intensify between Israel and Hezbollah, both sides indicating they want to avoid war, but both also making belligerent threats. Israel training tens of thousands of troops on its northern border. Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets in its arsenal, including ones that are precision guided. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The investigation continuing in Idaho after the deadly collapse of an aircraft hangar under construction.
Today, Boise firefighters can be seen looking around the twisted steel that buckled as a building came down. A crane came down with it. Boise police and OSHA are trying to piece together why the under construction hangar collapsed. Still, some of the victims remain in critical condition. 3 were killed.
ABC's Alex Stone. You're listening to ABC.
We all make resolutions this time of year. And let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
French farmers are ending days of protests.
France's two major farmers' unions calling on farmers to suspend protests and lift road blockades across the country. This after France's prime minister rolled out new measures to address their concerns. Hundreds of French farmers had driven their tractors to Paris in an effort to protest low wages and government regulations. Similar protests broke out in Belgium. Farmers are threatening to renew protests in June if their situation doesn't improve. Inez de la Gutierrez, ABC News, Paris.
10 Republican state lawmakers in Oregon have been banned from seeking re-election.
This is the same group of lawmakers who staged multiple walkouts denying majority Democrats a quorum. The intent was to block bills that minority Republicans didn't like. But voters responded by passing Measure 113, which bars excessively absent lawmakers from seeking another term. The group objected, but in a unanimous decision, the Oregon Supreme Court has now ruled it was clear voter intent was to prevent lawmakers who walk off the job from returning to the state capital. Now, 10 seats in the state Senate are up for grabs. Jeff Pogela, ABC News.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency announcing 171 arrests today in an operation covering more than 24 cities. Many of those suspects accused of serious crimes.
103 had convictions or pending charges for assault against children, including sexual assault, and 10 had pending charges or convictions of homicide or murder.
Michelle Franzen,
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hi, I'm John Holm, president of Tri-State Roofing, serving the Puget Sound since 2007. Tri-State Roofing is committed to making every step of the process stress-free. You'll have a dedicated production manager helping you with every aspect, start to finish. Right now, we're offering 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 6 months. Call Tri-State today, and we'll be out tomorrow.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Mark Gustafson, funeral director for Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapels.
Well, I've been in the funeral industry for about 39 years. I've had an opportunity in all those years to help everybody in Clallam County, my family, your family, and that's what makes me feel good is because I'm always there. I've always been there and I'm still here helping families. So when somebody needs something, just call Mark because I'm always here for you.
Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapel and Squim Valley Funeral Chapel, because your loved ones deserve the best.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results, 457-6600. The city of Squim has started drilling a new deep water well at Dr. Standard Park on Silberhorn Road. The work taking place through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the next few days. And the project will happen in a couple of phases. Phase 1 of the drilling expected to be completed through the next month or so. Residents are being asked to avoid the park and to heed construction signs and park closure signs there. There are 3 aquifers, one atop the other below the 10-acre park. The first is about 200 feet down. The third is down at about 500 feet.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Chance for isolated showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. High temperatures reach up to 54. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for isolated rain showers tonight. Lows level off around 43. Overcast skies. Cloudy tomorrow. Chance for isolated showers. Daytime highs approaching 50. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 57.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And welcome once again to the show. Today, the first segment, we're going to talk about a big fun event that's actually happening this weekend in Port Angeles, and a little bit about a way to raise some money for veterans in our area, as well as the rebuild of the big Dream Playground. That's turning into quite a project as well. We welcome to the studio 3 folks who are involved with the Elks Riders. Number 353, by the way. That's the local chapter, in case you wanted to know. And we welcome in Michael Sickles, Mike DeRossi, and Ron Zimmerman, who are all involved in this and also involved in organizing this Mardi Gras night that's happening. So I guess I'll go to the president first, Michael, and tell us a bit about what you guys have planned at the Naval Oaks Lodge this weekend.
Yeah, so first off, I'm no longer the president. It is Ron, but my patches still say president because I've been lazy. No, I can see
Ron,
that.
Ron, my apologies.
But we plan to have a live DJ. It's going to be a great guy that we know named Steven from Port Townsend. And he's going to be running music and games for us from 7 to 10 p.m. And we have games like Rock and Roll Bingo, which is going to be a lot of fun. So you come in, you get your bingo sheet. It's included in the price, so there's not an upcharge. And you will play Rock and Roll Bingo. And even if you don't know the songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever he plays them from, he will tell you the music so that you can still mark it on your bingo card.
So it's an easier form of bingo.
An easier form of rock and roll bingo.
Challenged. All right. Ron, since you are the president, I'll go to you next.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about this is a Mardi Gras fun night, essentially. I would assume you're encouraging people to come dressed for Mardi Gras as well if they want to?
Of course. You can dress up if you want. You come. We're going to have some masks there. We're going to have beads. We're going to have lots of little items there for the people. We're going to have a photo booth, a selfie station. We've got a backdrop there of Bourbon Street.
Nice.
And so dress up if you want, but it's not necessary. Just come to have fun.
And you can get tickets ahead of time, but you can also get them at the door, right?
Yes.
So it's $10, right?
Tickets are $10 at the door, or you can get them at website. I don't have it in front of me right now.
I don't either somewhere, but
the website is navalelks.ticketleap.com/Mardi Gras. And if you just go to ticketleap.com and search either Naval Elks or Mardi Gras, you can find it there.
Perfect. You can also call the Naval Oaks Lodge and say, hey, how do I get a ticket?
Yeah, exactly.
That'll work as well. Mike DeRossi, a bit about the cause here. You guys are raising some money for a couple of things with this, so tell us about that part.
Yes, we're definitely going to raise money for the veterans, the homeless veterans moving into homes, and we help in that moving into them for their needs as far as whether it's kitchenware or beds. I think we sent in 4 of them so far, and we send in beds and all kinds of accessories. So whatever they need, they fill out a form of whatever they need, and we try to meet all their needs.
Which is part of it, and we'll talk about that too, because this is part of kind of what you guys do as the Elks Riders.
That is what we do, basically. Yeah, that's our main goal.
And then go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say I would love to tell you about our Welcome Home Kits program at some point, but yeah, that's part of what we're doing is our Welcome Home Kits.
But you also piggybacked onto this to raise some money that'll go towards the rebuild of the playground.
Absolutely. I mean, that was devastating news for everybody to wake up to, and it really hit us hard, and we just said, we need to do something, and so that's why we do this.
We're kind of getting lots of nice little fun events, at least to turn some sort of a tragedy, the fundraising part of it, at least into have a little bit of enjoyment with each other too.
Have fun and raise some money for it. Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about the Elks Riders, because some people may have seen this around, but they don't know much about you guys. So Ron, tell us, what are the Elks Riders and how do you guys operate? What's
Well, it's we all share the same interest, riding motorcycles. And I belong to the Squim Elks Riders. And then last year, Port Angeles wanted to set one up at the Naval Elks. So I transferred down here, and we got this going here with some help from some other folks. And Michael Sickles was the president then, and he was a driving force in getting us organized. We go on rides. Weather permitting, and we try to go out and have a good time and do a little good
fundraising too for the veterans.
Michael, you're all Elks members as well, and then this is an adjunct to that.
Correct.
Okay.
And so people who know us personally that are like, hey, I'd like to be in a motorcycle group with you guys because I want to ride. I don't know any other riders. We have to tell them kindly, you need to join the Elks first, then you can join us. And so we've had about 3 riders do that. So they became Elks just so they can
be in the riders.
So they can be in our little rider group. And I love that. I'm very, very proud of that because we have a good group of men and women, and we do fun rides, and then we focus our work on the welcome home kits, which are huge. They've been huge.
How many riders do you guys have in your group right now?
Currently, I think we have 9 with 2 more joining.
All right, so it's growing. How long has that? This is a newer group too, right?
Yes,
if I understand from what
we've
Ron
only
said.
been around for 1 year.
Yeah.
I launched this with the help of someone named RJ Yard. He lives in Texas now, and all I wanted was to meet other men to ride with who just wanted to have fun and raise some money. And so I put it out there and said, hey, does anyone want to ride?
Yeah, and people like Mike DeRosie said, oh, sure.
Yes, he did.
I've known Mike for a long time, and I know this is a retirement goal of yours is to ride your motorcycle, right?
That's exactly right. You know, a lot of the riders I used to ride with either sold their motorcycles or passed away or whatever, you know, and so I almost sold my motorcycle. And then when I heard this, I went, are you kidding me? This is a dream come true. I can actually go out and ride safe. There's a code of conduct that we have that we ride to too. So it's a blessing for us.
Absolutely.
To get out there and ride.
I should point out that you have a road captain on your. So tell me, what the road captain? Are you in charge of making sure these guys do it right or what?
Well, we never let the president go first. I'll tell you that. We got to save him. You know, so road captain rides in front and then one in the back.
Got it. All right. All right. That's it's great. Maybe I'll just be selfish. I'll let you be selfish for a minute. Tell us about your bikes. What are you riding these days, Mike?
I ride a Harley, of course.
Yeah. Ron, what about you? What gets you around?
I ride. I have a few. So my favorite's Harley Ultra.
Okay. All right. Michael, what are you riding these days?
And I've got a collector's edition Harley Davidson, a Y2K model number 84 of 100 that I love like my little baby.
Yeah.
But we're not just a Harley group. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to.
That's my next question. I mean, is there any prerequisite to joining up? Just you got to have a bike.
You just got to have a bike that's over 650 cc's, so you can keep up on the road with us.
Yeah.
But we accept we have one guy joining, Brad. He's all sport bikes. That's all he does. He races.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Well, can I join?" And we're like, "Is it a motorcycle? Then yes, you may."
Right on. Right on. Tell us about some of your rides, Mike. Where have you gone off on with these guys?
Well, geez, we've gone a long places, but one ride that was, I think, it was one of our better rides that was really showed the athletic ability and the core of riding was when we took 112, you know, and that road is
it's got problems
very
sometimes.
curvy and really rough right now, and everybody did a great job. We went out and had lunch out there at Breakwater Cafe at Clown Bay. Yeah, next time we may go to Nia Bay, but and we'll probably end up doing the full loop again, you know, but
that's fun. Yeah,
Port
just
Townsend.
get together and do your thing.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah. Just
and we
run.
We get together. We call the other Elks Riders groups in the area. If they want to join us, they're welcome to join us. And we have another, the Forks Elks are standing up in Elks Riders out there.
Okay.
They're in the process of getting that chartered out there. So enthusiasm's growing on the peninsula.
What a great, and I mean, obviously, just from talking with you guys, you have great camaraderie. This is a lot of fun to go out and do. And I think with that, then you're able to springboard that into doing some great worthy causes. This fundraiser is one thing, and I know, Michael, let's talk about the your welcome
home kits. Yeah, this is
there you go.
When I was starting this club, I felt that the club needed a focus and what are we really doing and who do we really want to help. And the Elks National Foundation, so just the Elks alone, has a foundation that supports veterans, and part of that is welcome home kits. And so I adopted that. So at the lodge, basically, that's who I am. I'm the welcome home kit guy, communicating for our grants with people who write our grants. But our team here, the writers, we do the welcome home kits. And what that is, we contact the local VA and we let them know, hey, we've got money in the bank. we want to help house someone. So the VA knows we're ready, and they already have a name. We're waiting for them to get their voucher for their housing. And so once the veteran finds housing, so they're homeless and they're looking for housing, they find housing finally, they're generally homeless. They don't have much. So we have to move them into that, because it's this one guy we helped. He had a studio apartment with nothing. He was just sleeping on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And I felt bad for the guy, because he clearly had health things going on. And you don't want an older gentleman who served our country and fought for us to be sleeping on a hard floor. And so things like that really speak to me and to us as a group. And they get a list from the VA that says, hey, here's all the things that we'll provide for you, mark them off. And then our goal is to completely fulfill that list. And we've been able to do that, and I've been very proud of us. We provided beds and other things necessary for a person to go home to, or kids' beds, like if the veteran has kids. Like we did one where a young vet had a daughter who we got them a bed, and the daughter was just so aglow, like she had her own bed. And I'm going to remember that moment for probably the rest of my life, because the kid was just so happy to have something.
Wow. Yeah. We don't think about that. I mean, we get some housing for these guys, but there's no, they may not even have dishes for that matter. Mike DeRosa, you talked about the bed thing as well. Do you physically go out and get donations? How do you acquire beds?
We do, but we were real fortunate that we've had 3 of the Rough Riders, they donated a bed that they had. A queen, a king, a king, I think it was, and a double.
Okay.
And but we'll buy them. But fortunately, they had.
Right on. So the reason I bring that up is you'd take a donation, I would imagine. If somebody out there had a decent bed, should they contact you? Is that
yes, washer and dryers too, if they're in good shape. Because we had a couple that wanted that. So anything that might help. That we do have some storage available at our houses, but we don't rent a place, because everything that's donated we spend on the veterans and raising money for the playground. This time we had a cornhole tournament. We started out with $500 that the swim riders gave us to start. And then we had a cornhole tournament and auction and everything. And I think 7-seaters donated $1,000 for that. And then we ended up winning or raising over $4,600 or something. And we got a grant. Now we have $6,000.
Wow.
So, and that money is going right into, we're just funneling it right back out again too. So we need people to show up at this
Mardi Gras event that we've got. Yeah, absolutely, because you guys are on a roll, both when you're out riding and as well as just with the giving.
Well, I mean, we ride, we go shopping for household goods, and we deliver them too.
I love it.
So.
What a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys are really genuinely enjoying doing this kind of work.
Absolutely.
Tell from the smiles you guys have. All right, here are the things. So what time do things start on Saturday? Is it 7?
7 p.m.
Okay. So 7 until 10.
We're going till 10. We've paid for the DJ to be there from 6 to 11, obviously, because they have set up and tear down. But if you get there a little early before 7, we're probably not going to send you out the door. But around 10 o'clock will be last call, and then we'll get people out the door and home, hopefully by 11 at the latest.
Yeah.
All right.
Rock and roll bingo is going to be like an hour and a half, and then it's dancing, and then enjoying yourselves. And
we're also having the 50-50 raffle. We're going to play a heads or tails game. So
what a great
there's going to be some games.
Fun. Yeah. And bring your masks provided if you want something. I guess it sounds like you might have everything.
I think we do have some masks.
We have props and stuff.
Little props.
We got
selfie station.
Okay. Should be fun.
It will
Get down to the Naval Elks Lodge in Port Angeles on Saturday night. Help these guys raise a bunch of money for great causes. The Dream Playground's one of them, but also, as you just heard, the wonderful things you guys do for helping supply our veterans as they get into some housing here locally. So, Mike DeRosa, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thanks for stopping in. It was great. Ron Zimmerman, the president. Sorry I didn't get you right at the first.
That's fine. I'm the new guy. I got one thing to add.
Sure.
We're also working with the Clallam County Veterans Association for contacts.
Excellent.
for veterans in need, too.
Excellent. I love it. And Michael Sickles, thanks for organizing all this stuff and actually getting this thing rolling, it sounds like a bit, too. So, we encourage people to get down there at Saturday night, have a good time with these guys and the rest of the public. It's open to the public, by the way. Should let folks know that's not.
It's absolutely open to the public. It's also a membership drive, so you will hear us asking you to submit your applications to become an elk like us, but it's not necessary.
Well, and if you ride a motorcycle, you may want to join.
That's right.
Because then you can join these guys.
Exactly.
Right.
The more the merrier.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hi, I'm Mercedes, and I would like to thank you for a wonderful holiday season.
And I'm Johnny B. And we are thrilled that our community has embraced our new home for Foghorn Olive Oil and Bistro.
The addition of wine, beer, and our delightful paninis have been a huge success.
We are closing for a well-deserved break from January 14th till February 1st to enjoy some sunshine and salt water.
We will be recharged and ready to serve you for the rest of the year. See you soon.
Oh, the many things we love about Squim. Yes, the sunshine, charming downtown, the simple life, and A1 Auto Parts in downtown Squim. A1 Auto Parts Anne Marine has been locally owned longer than the bypass has been there, delivering quality parts with professional expert service. You can rely on A1 Auto Parts to keep you and your car on the road. Find the experts at A1 in downtown Squim.
The Elks Riders would like to invite you to grab your beads and party for a cause at the Naval Elks Lodge. It's a Mardi Gras spectacular Saturday, February 3rd, with all funds benefiting homeless veterans in our area and the Dream Playground. Dance and play games or just sit and listen to music. Either way, you'll have a blast. Tickets are just $10 at the door. Celebrate Mardi Gras and help your community at the Naval Elks Lodge in PA, Saturday, February 3rd. Sponsored by Anime Cat and Elks Riders.
Don't miss the Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo this weekend. The NPBA's 25th annual event will be at their new location, Squim Middle School, and offers the best in home building. Learn about innovative building products and local services, all under one roof. Doors open at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Returning this year to the NPBA Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo is the Building Block Challenge. It's free for all kids ages 5 through 12 and offers great Lego prizes. Pre-register for the Building Block Challenge as space is limited. Go to npba.info. That's npba.info. The Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo is presented by Clallam County PUD and the North Peninsula Building Association. Come see the best in home building this weekend during the Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo at Squim Middle School. Admission is free.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Going to slide into our weekly Bacon Bit segment here in our next bit. And this time, our own Amanda Bacon sat down with the grandson of Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter. Way Jennings was born into one of country music's most iconic family names and has emerged as a naturally gifted singer from the Jennings tribe as well, and has some new things cooking up too, and sat down with our own Amanda Bacon for this week's Bacon Bit.
Good morning, Way.
Good morning. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing okay. I got a little bit of the bug, but I'm okay. I wanted to talk with you.
Sounds good. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about what kind of water y'all are drinking in that family where every single one of you just comes out with immense talent and vocal ability.
I'm not real sure, honestly. We just love what we do, and it's something that we've always enjoyed, is passionate, and we all try our best to do the best we possibly can with it, you know.
Well, it's incredible to hear you because you just have this incredible, recognizable, and lovable sound like your grandpa, which if people don't know, Waylon Jennings is your grandpa.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, he is. I sure miss him. He's been gone quite a while now, but you still hear him every day on the radio. It's
Yep, I
a wonderful
can't
thing.
even imagine. I can't even imagine having him as your grandpa. What got you into wanting to follow in the musical footsteps of your family?
Well, honestly, I got kind of scared when I was young about it because when I was a little kid, I went out on stage with my grandfather, and it was all fun. You know, it was like a playground out there. And then I turned about 13 years old, and I went out on stage, and I froze like a deer in headlights, you know. So at that point, I went and got, you know, a summer job, and I started just distancing myself from music. But I always sang around my mother, you know, and like just in private, you know. And my mom was always like, "You need to really try something with music. You're good." And I was like, I always just blew it off and blew it off. And then she got ill, and practically begged me to do this on her deathbed. And I tried it, threw myself at the wall, see if I'd stick, and, you know, I stuck. It's been a long road. It's been 12 years of hard learning. And I tell you what, I did everything wrong before I did anything right. And that's just where I'm at right now. I'm doing everything as right as I possibly can.
What do you think made you go down that wrong path first before finding that right one?
Oh, man, it's just whenever I was young, I looked at life a lot differently. You know, I started running with the wrong crowd, and we started doing bad things. You know what I mean? I was, you know, I spent a lot of years, like, I hate to admit it, but it's something I can't hide from, and it ain't nothing I'm going to hide from. I was, you know, pretty well bad addicted to, for a lot of years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been sober for the past 5 years, and it took a lot of hard living and mistakes to get myself on the right path where I'm at right now, and I couldn't be more grateful. I mean, I'm actually making the best music I've ever made in my life now. These last few years have been a great blessing to me. I give all glory to God over it, and I just love the life I'm living today. You know?
Well, and it's very evident when you listen to your new single, Amazing Grace. I mean, that song is just so profound anyway, but you can hear when you're singing it just this incredible connection to it. What continues to propel you to want to write music and continue to push it out there? Because I think it's great when people have gone through stuff and are very open about it. Like, this is what I have gone through and this is where I'm at. Because I kind of feel like it's a "and you can too" situation. What is keeping you and propelling you to continue moving forward and writing these raw songs that are coming out?
Well, the thing about it is that whenever I got sober, I thought, you know, I'm sober, now it's over. I can just go on living my life. and then I'm like looking back, because the first thing you want to do when you get sober is you want to start helping people. And you can't do that because you're not healed yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to heal myself for many years, and I'm not even going to say I'm 100% healed. I mean, I can't ever see myself going backwards, but you know, it's still a very touchy subject to me. Like when I first got out of rehab, I was like, I want to just write songs about sobriety. I want to try to help people. I want to go out there and just help people in droves and turn the whole world of addiction around to God. You know, and it's like, it's a good feeling to want that, but then you got to realize that you got to meet everybody where they're at in their lives. You know what I mean? So what I like to do these days, and I'm trying to do with this next project that I just finished recording yesterday. I'm doing the vocals tomorrow, but I'm trying to really venture into an area where, you know, everybody has something they can gain from this next project. You know what I mean? I got some really good songs on this next project. I'm going to be doing a gospel project sometime in the future, but this next project right here is just 100% purely strong, good country music. And I'm looking forward to what everybody's going to like about this, because I think it's the strongest project I've ever put out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to really be somebody who can help people, you know, just escape the everyday lives of the work and grind, you know.
Well, and I think that is definitely evident in the song Just Before the Dawn. That is an absolutely hauntingly beautiful piece. And what was your inspiration in that? It's just kind of what you were talking about, is helping people.
Exactly what that was. That song, I was fortunate to be one of the writers on. And when I went into the studio, it was kind of a different song than what it turned out to be. And I looked at my producer and I was like, man, I'm missing something here. You know what I mean? And I looked at the page and I looked at these lyrics and I changed maybe 12 words on the page and pointed it into just a little bit of a different direction. And whenever I finished recording the vocals on that, I mean, every hair on my body stood up. And I was like, it's done. That's perfect. Just like that. Yeah. And then we went and when we was in Nashville doing the videos for it, I got to do all the acting in it. And I actually get shot in that video. And
yeah, you do.
It just turned into a very, very powerful thing. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, God bless you, Wade Jennings. What a delight to talk to you, and I just can't wait to continue watching you climb all of the success ladders that are out there because you're just ridiculously talented in your own right, no matter what your last name is.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you, Wade. You take care of yourself. God bless, and congratulations on your sobriety.
Well, thank you. You get you some hot tea, man. You'll get over that real soon, I promise.
Thank you so much. You take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
Stick out your tongue and say, ah, it's the craziest thing you ever saw. Here at Olympic Game Farm, they say howdy with a wave of a paw. Now it's hard to steer clear of the elk and the deer when they pop in to say hello. They've got lions and tigers and bears. Don't forget about the buffalo. It's impossible to stay calm. So come out with your dad and your mom. Canine and feline, you'll find us online at onlygamefarm.com.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Rob Francis. Public health officials in King County have confirmed the first known outbreak of a deadly fungus. They say someone recently admitted to one of the Kindred Hospital locations in Seattle was infected by the Candida auris fungus, which spreads easily in healthcare facilities. Approximately a week later, 3 other cases were confirmed at the hospital. The source of the outbreak is still unknown. Kindred is in the process of notifying other facilities that receive patients from that hospital. The executive director of Kitsap County 911 has resigned following an underage sex sting. 54-year-old Richard Curtin is charged with attempted commercial sexual abuse of a minor and communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. Curtin allegedly responded to a post on Grindr, then arranged to meet for sex at a hotel with what he believed was a 16-year-old boy. Undercover officers arrested Curtin when he arrived. And bighorn sheep in Hell's Canyon near Yakima dying from pneumonia. Biologists and wildlife personnel from all 3 Pacific Northwest states are monitoring the sickness, but say there's nothing they can do. There have been prior pneumonia infections among Yakima bighorn sheep before. Half of the population often dies, and lamb survival is affected for the next several years. The severity of the current infection won't be known for months. For more on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app. You can also visit our website, WashingtonStateNews.net.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I taught for 20 years, until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation, together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Chance for isolated showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. High temperatures reach up to 54. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for isolated rain showers tonight. Lows level off around 43. Overcast skies. Cloudy tomorrow. Chance for isolated showers. Daytime highs approaching 50. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 57.
All right, it's Thursday, and the last bit of the show is always our business bits, and that's when we bring in our business guru, Kevin Holt, to talk about things that, we pretty much might as well just say it affects everybody, don't we?
It does.
We call it business bits. We just ought to call it bits because it's
people's bits, the bits of the people.
We've been talking a lot on the show about scams, and you're going to just pile on and talk about scams some more today. That's the subject. Here come the scams.
That's right. Remember last week we talked about Here Comes the Judge. Here come the scams, and I do talk about them a lot, but that's because they happen a lot, and they happen a lot because they work. So listen up, people. Let's put these guys out of business because, it's up to us. If we stop doing it, they'll stop doing it. So it really is our deal. Right. Now the cycle for most businesses begins in January and it ends in December. And many small business scams have their genesis in January, and they often aren't discovered until December. Mm-hmm. So we'll take a look at some that I got, and then we'll talk about some others that are happening all over the country. Mm-hmm. I'd say we'll look at some revolting developments and see what we can learn for the year to come. So the first one is a scam with 2 years to go. Well, now, how do I know that? Well, I'll tell you in just a minute. As long ago, TV personality used to say, "Do you ever wonder why?" In this case, do you ever wonder why your small business is being bombarded with offers to help you with employee retention credits? Now, what the heck are those? Mm-hmm. Well, the employee retention credit was an IRS program that helped eligible employers pay employment costs during our old friend, the pandemic. The benefit is a refundable payroll tax credit that does not need to be paid back. Well, who doesn't want that? Yep. Well, the problem is that employee retention credit scammers are misleading taxpayers. Scammers typically make false assurances about eligibility, and this program has very complicated eligibility requirements. Scammers ignore the complex rules, and they maximize their non-refundable fees. Fake service providers will charge upfront for their services, often filing claims with inaccurate numbers on behalf of taxpayers who do not qualify. The IRS also warns that scammers use the employee retention credit as bait to collect business identification information. Mm. And if you think personal identity theft is a disaster, imagine having someone set up a charge account with your company information at a steel supplier and buying $100,000 worth of I-beams and selling them on Craigslist, and then you get the bill. So very serious, very dangerous. For victims of employee retention credit fraud, lost money due to fraudulent fees is not the worst consequence. Taxpayers are always ultimately responsible for any tax return filed, no matter who prepared it. Unwinding the damage from a fraudulent tax filing can take years. So, if you are interested in the employee retention credit, and it is money,
and it is legitimate,
the program is perfectly legitimate, although it is complex. Speak to the person or company you already use for your tax preparation. They have all the information. They work with the IRS. They know this stuff. Your tax preparer is your one source of credible employee retention credit information. Believe it or not, employers who want to claim these tax credits from the last 3 quarters of 2020 can still file. They have until April 15th of this year to get that information in, and they can still file for all of 21. And the filing deadline is April 15th of 2025. So get together with your tax preparer. Mm-hmm. You'll be dealing with a lot of files and paperwork, but you could be getting some money back from the payroll taxes that you paid many years ago, actually now.
And that's how you know there's 2 years to go. Because they know.
Yes.
The scammers know there's 2 more years.
Can you imagine the hay they're going to make in April of 24 and April of 25? It's almost over. You got to get in here. Yep. No, you don't. You got to talk to your own tax preparer.
All right.
So I just showed Todd some documents that came into my mail. The first one is a fraudulent Annual report demand. Despite the best efforts of the Secretary of State's office, scammers still fool hundreds of businesses every January. These scammers use a business directory to find victims. The scammers then mail a starkly officially looking demand for your annual business report. We all have to turn them in, but here in Washington State, we do them online. And all you do is renew your business license, which is about $60. Answer 4 questions. Did you buy or sell any stock? Any owners? Any owners leave? Any owners come? Are you open? Okay, done. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not hard. But these nice scammers, they'll help you file that report. Just complete the official looking form, hand over your money, and all your worries are over. You think you've just completed your annual report, and the scammer has just vacuumed up your business identity again. Worse, you'll get a fine from the real Secretary of State for not submitting your real annual report on time. Now, why do they do this? Because it works. People get these, and they are charging $85 on top of the $60 that you have to pay. And when you look at the document they send, if you pay attention, what they've done is gone to the Department of Revenue, and all that's there is your UBI number. They don't know who your registered agents are. They don't know. Every one of us has an annual filing month. I know what mine is, and it's not February, like they said in the paper. So, once again, they do it because it works. Don't fall for it. We do our reports online. And if you have a new business, you don't know this because you haven't done it yet. So, be sure to be careful.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I looked at that document. It looks pretty legit. If you just
really
cursory
throws
look
it at you. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're in a hurry. It's January. You got a million things to do.
Yeah, right.
The end of the month taxes are due for the quarter. Oh, it's a big mess. And it's I don't know, it's $145. Get it out of here, you know. And you're not thinking, and you just put some money in somebody's pocket and took some out of your own. And just before we take a break, everything old is new again. And I talk about this every year. But the old fraudulent domain registration scam is back with a new twist. They are banking on the inattentiveness of their intended victims. And so domain registration scammers are asking for more. Now scammers demand so-called registration fees for any web address associated with your company. And whoever's doing this is putting a little time in to find these other properties. So it's not just websites, it's your landing pages, your blogs, your Facebook pages, your social media handles, and they still want you to pay a fee for your photo sharing site, Page 2, none of which actually are yours.
Right, right.
And so my wife and I just received a $288 demand for a blog address we used for 3 months 8 years ago. But it's hanging out there. So I guess the cost of getting ripped off is going up too due to inflation.
My God. Yeah, I'm going to add something to that because we here at the station have been, they're doing it in emails now too.
Oh my gosh.
And it's confusing because all of a sudden it's like, no, those are already on an auto renewal.
Yes.
Those are already on with, GoDaddy or whoever we've got our domains registered with. Why do I need to do that again?
Well, at least you're asking. So many people don't.
Exactly.
They see this and they go, website, that gives me a headache anyway.
We're relatively savvy with these sorts of things down here, and yet
it stopped you for a minute.
Myself and Sue Ellen, we kind of stopped and looked at that for a couple of minutes, and it's like, no, that can't be it.
Fortunately, you passed that moment of indecision or confusion, but that's really what all of these scams live on, is that moment. Yeah. And, in that moment, you've got a choice. Stop, check before you wreck, or just get it off your desk. I'm going to get done. I'm
and that's
busy.
What they're counting on.
Exactly.
A lot of that.
And these things aren't cheap to mail. There had to have been at least $1.50 worth of paper and postage, and I don't know who's licking the stamps and folding the envelopes, but...
Well, their return on investment must be there.
Off. That's exactly right.
Okay. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk a bit about Sticky Fingers.
Not the Rolling Stones album.
When we get back with your business bits right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
McCrory Carpet One is part of a 1,000 store co-op. That means you get the competitive pricing of a big box store, but with a superior installation. Their team of professional installers are all employees who live here on the peninsula. Their installation teams take pride in their work because they know they're working for their neighbors and friends, local craftsmen helping local people. Experience the difference. Always priced right and always done right at McCrory Carpet One.
Your community-minded friends at First Fed bring you the Community Corner, highlighting good things happening right here in our area.
The North Peninsula Building Association invites you to their Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo this coming weekend, February 3rd and 4th. This annual event at their new location at the Squim Middle School from 9 a.m. to 4 Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 Sunday. Again, that's February 3rd and 4th. The NPBA Building, Remodeling, and Energy Expo invites your kids to participate in the Building Block Challenge and build their best Lego houses in 30 minutes for some great prizes. Be sure to register online at NorthPeninsulaBuildingAssociation.com. NorthPeninsulaBuildingAssociation.com. The Lego Building Block Challenge is free for all kids ages 5 to 12. Also, the Backyard Birding Series continues February 3rd. It's from 10 a.m. to noon at the Dungeness River Nature Center.
Community Corner, presented by First Fed.
When temperatures drop, energy bills increase because of heating costs. For customers with electrically heated homes, the PUD offers instant rebates to help you pay for eligible ductless and variable speed heat pumps, which offer efficient heating in the winter and cooling in the summer. The instant incentive for ductless is $800 for homes that are replacing electric resistance heating. For variable speed systems, the instant incentive ranges from $250 up to $1,000, depending on what heating equipment that you currently have and what equipment you're going to install. Visit clallenpud.net for more information.
It's a Business Bits, one more segment with Kevin Holt, our business guru. I should remind you that he puts his shows up and notes with all of his shows at kevinyourbusinesscoach.com, so you can go check that out, and that is a legitimate website.
And you don't have to pay a fee to go there. That's right. And you don't have to register it either.
All right, let's talk about not the Rolling Stones album,
right.
Sticky Fingers.
You might remember the Three Stooges introducing themselves as Willie, Steele, and Howe. Possibly due to the financial stress of inflation, embezzlement cases were off the charts in 2023. Yes, Kevin's talking about embezzlement again. Why? Because it happens and it can hurt you. In fact, U.S. Chamber of Commerce had an article this month saying 1/3 of business failures are due to employee dishonesty of some kind. Maybe it's our new post-accountability culture. I don't know. But these instances of internal theft are discovered at year-end because you're pulling all the books together. And we remember that Oregon Weekly that discovered their crippling theft right at the end of the year. And that case, sadly, is far from unique. When I looked it up, all 50 states had victims. And it would take the rest of the broadcast day to go through it. But here's a sampling of what we saw. If you remember your 1950s novelty song, Way Up North to Alaska. That's right. In the tiny town of Anderson, a woman working as a city clerk drained $300,000 from the city coffers.
Which is probably a very significant amount of the city coffers there.
Everything they had. Yeah, she didn't leave a scrap for the next person that came in. And in the dirty, dirty South, a woman took $700,000 from a water district in Little Rock, Arkansas. Austin, Texas had 4 major cases involving a bank teller, a housing commission executive, a city employee, and a business association official. And that business association just voted to dissolve itself because it ain't got no money. So that was a fatality right there. Michigan's fraudsters included a 76-year-old woman who stole payroll tax deposits, and we know that's a double whammy. on the business because they lose the money, and now they have to put the money back into the federal government's coffers, and a 26-year-old who cleaned out an athletic fund. We talked before about how vulnerable these small nonprofits are. Another woman in the Wolverine state sold $330,000 from a landscaping firm several years after being disbarred as an attorney for stealing money from clients.
A repeat offender. And, we talked before we went on the air about this. Is that
right?
You don't have... these people continue.
Yes, background checks, people. Come on, nobody does it once.
Yeah.
Once they do it, they're going to do it again. In the colorful state of West Virginia, they prosecuted dishonest employees for embezzlement, fraudulent schemes, forgery, and a crime called uttering. I did not know what that is.
What is uttering?
I looked it up.
Okay.
It means using a forged document. So
uttering.
Forging and then using is a separate crime called uttering. I'm sure it has something to do with the way people talked in the 1600s, because that's when West Virginia's been around. So very interesting there. In regular Virginia, the one for lovers, 2 men were caught on surveillance video loving money a little too much, embezzling thousands of dollars from a local casino. Biggest possible, duh. Do you think they have cameras in casinos?
If all the places to steal from, that's probably
they
not
were
the
caught
easy,
just grabbing the cash boxes out of the counting room and emptying them in the backseat of their car. Not to be left out, Washington, D.C. was plagued by an employee of the U.S. Postal Service who stole over $1 million in government checks out of the mail and deposited them in his own bank account because he's so clever.
Not that would ever get checked.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. And then finally, a Colorado business was victimized by a woman who was found to have spent her ill-gotten gains at gas stations, liquor stores, smoke shops, marijuana dispensaries, and something called adult content stores. All I can say is, I never get invited to the good parties.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right.
So finally, if you start or buy a business this year, don't scam yourself. Last and probably worst, some small business owners are scamming themselves. How? By not paying attention to real obligations that come with owning a small business here. Now, we reviewed both these issues before the pandemic. It's probably time to refresh everybody's memories here in Clallam County. The first, for people who are looking to buy a business, is a nasty little thing called a successor tax. A number of businesses have changed hands here in Clallam County recently, and that brings up this old gotcha. If there are any outstanding state taxes or fees on a Washington business, the buyer, called the successor, could be liable for those taxes and fees, and there's nothing you want less than to pay another bill after you just bought a business. Probably it's just like buying a house. You scrape everything up out of the couch and everywhere else because it takes every penny you got. To protect themselves, a buyer should demand a certificate from the Department of Revenue showing that no tax is due. If taxes are owed, then get a statement of tax status from the department showing payment in full, because that's how you protect yourself from that. If the seller refuses, and some businesses are sold by people who inherited the business. Some people are on the run. Who knows? But if that's the case and you can't get that information from the seller, of course, the first answer is walk away. But if circumstances don't make that possible, then you withhold enough money from that purchase price to pay any tax due the seller. You've got to hold that money back because you're going to have to pay it one way or the other. If the seller doesn't pay the tax within 10 days of the disposal of the business, the buyer is liable. The one exception there is if the business is worth less than $50,000. Then you're limited to the value of the total business. You can't pay more than it's worth, but you could come close.
Yeah.
And the last one, we just have a couple of seconds here, but there is a thing called personal property tax, and nobody knows about it when they start a business. So this is especially important for startups. When you use personal effects in a business, you have to pay tax on that privilege, and that includes things like machinery, furniture, equipment, supplies for the business. Personal property also includes leasehold improvements. So if you want to bring somebody in to do $100,000 worth of upgrades on that old building,
you got to pay tax on that.
You do, and you have to pay it in perpetuity until it ages off the books. So it doesn't apply to inventories or intangible property, but if you go to the Clallam County website and just search personal property tax, you will get a great amount of information, and I really want to compliment the county because they have added contact names, emails, and phone numbers for this tax. So there's a little bit to it. You have to download a form, do a big inventory, send it in. But get your arms around that, because if you started your business already, you need to get it in by April 30th. If you'd start after April 30th, you have to send it in the day you open, basically. But you will then be able to protect yourself from the $250 penalty that comes with not doing that.
Right. I'll even add another one. A sign on your building is in the tax.
Property. That's right. The giant ships out in the water, that's personal property. So the company that owns those, they pay personal property tax on that if they're based in Washington, which is why so few marine trade companies are.
I don't see a lot of Washington State flagged ships these days.
No, sir, you sure don't.
All right, all of this information is always so good and always on your website.
It always is.
Kevin Holt, KevinYourBusinessCoach.com.
Correct.
That's where Kevin Holt lands
where
all
I
of
am.
this stuff. And Kevin, we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thanks so much.
All right, we bring him in for our business bits, and we'll call that good for our program today. Thanks for joining us. We'll check in with the news coming up next.
Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapel offer experience you can lean on and the compassion to ease your loss. Their job is to help families cope with loss of loved ones by removing the stress involved in planning funeral arrangements. All of the staff has a real heart for serving families and their needs in the most difficult of times. They truly realize the importance in what they're doing for the community. Squim Valley Funeral Chapel and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapel in Port Angeles, the caring support you'll need in your time of loss.
Caviar Jewelry is ready to meet your jewelry needs. Our beautiful store at 2416 East Highway 101, Suite B in Port Angeles is energetic and inviting. We have new jewelry from vendors across the states and around the world. We do the discount shopping so we can bring the savings to you. Sharon's available to consult with you directly for jewelry repairs, and most are done in-house. Annie offers appraisals for your beloved pieces. We're open 10 till 6, Tuesday through Saturday. We look forward to serving you.
When purchasing a home or land, nobody wants to inherit existing debts or legal issues that could interfere with their property rights in the future. That's why it's important to work with local title insurance professionals and protect your rights with owner's title insurance. Olympic Peninsula Title has been protecting the property rights of Clallam County customers for 35 years. Put our team of professionals to work for you. For title insurance, contract collections, and escrow services, opt for Olympic Peninsula Title. Klahani Gymnastics is so much more than mats, bars, and balance beams. It's a place for building strength and confidence in our kids. It's promoting self-esteem and key building blocks for a healthy lifestyle. And of course, fitness is always fun at Klahani. Get the favorite child in your life a gift certificate for tuition and call to check on our schedule for